Good morning, grade 9s. Let's quickly mark exercise 16.5. You guys had that for homework. Right, so at 1a, they gave me the trinomial x squared plus 5x plus 6. The first few I'm going to go a bit slower, then quicker later on. So we said we have to look at factors of 6, which gives me the sum of the coefficient of x. Okay, so at 6, I can say 6 times 1, or I can say 3 times 2. Okay, but, sorry, I forgot to say that beforehand. This plus, the positive, tells me that I will have plus, plus. No. Okay, so we start off by saying x plus something and x plus something. Okay, so now I've got to use these to get 5x. Now, if I fill n plus plus over here, that's going to give me 7. So this option is obviously not going to work. If I were to fill n plus 3 plus 2, can you see that actually gives me this 5 that I have over here? Okay, so that is how I knew that it would be x plus 3 and x plus 2. Sorry, I didn't show that. Okay, please remember that if you want to go and double check, we do the opposite. We do FOIL. I'm going to show it this once. So we said we have x plus 3 and x plus 2. Okay, so let's go double check by multiplying in. So x times x gives me x squared. Oh, now this pen doesn't want to write. Okay, so x squared. Okay, x times 2 will give me 2x. 3 times x will give me 3x. And 3 times 2 will give me 6. And now this middle two terms will have to simplify. So I'm going to get x squared plus 5x plus 6. Can you now see it's exactly the same as what we had over here? No. So that is just how we can go back and double check our work. Alright. Okay. Now I can go a little bit faster. So at C, because that's a minus, I knew my signs would be x plus something and x minus something. So let's look at the combinations again. Just now we said we can use 6 times 1 or 3 times 2. Now, which one of those combinations would give me the positive, and there's actually a 1. What on earth is wrong with this pen again? A 1 in front of this x. So I want my answer to be 1. No. Okay, now this first option, if I were to fill in a plus and a minus, that's not going to work. There's no way I can use 6 and 1 to get to an answer of 1. But the 3 and the 2 I could actually use. I could say positive 3 minus 2. No, and that's going to give me 1. So that's how I knew x plus 3 and x minus 2. Okay. At E, factors of 6 again. Oh, sorry. First things first. My sign is a negative, so I knew it would be x plus something and x minus something. Again, options would be 6 times 1 or 3 times 2. Right, but I have to get negative 5, like we have over here. Negative 5 when I use those combinations. Alright, so if I were to say the 6 and the 1, would that give me negative 5? Yes, I can say negative 6 plus 1. No, that would give me negative 5. Okay, just watch out. You could also have said minus 3 minus 2 would give you minus 5. No? So it is possible to get to minus 5 using this combination. But what I want you to see is look at these signs. Both signs are negatives. And what do we have here? A positive and a negative. Okay, so that is how I knew that this last option, that one, would not work. Okay, so I'm going to say x plus 1 and x minus 6. Right, 2a. Factors of 9 will be 9 times 1 or 3 times 3. Right, I've got to use those to get to minus 6 over here. And because that was a plus, I knew they would either be both. It would either be x plus, or x minus, x minus. So how did I decide on the x minus? Because of this sign. No. Right, so now let's use these combinations. 9 and 1 I must use to get negative 6. There's no way if I fill in negatives that's not going to give me negative 6, it's going to give me minus 10. So that option is out. But the 3, I think I need more skryf. The 3 and the 3, minus 3, that is actually going to give me minus 6. So x minus 3, x minus 3. Right. Over here, factors of 25, 25 times 1, or 5 times 5. No. Okay, I didn't even say, but because this is a plus, I knew it would be plus plus. Okay, I must use these to get positive 10x. So it would definitely be x plus 5. Panicky. X plus 5. X plus 5. No. Okay. Then, at E, you would have seen that we have a coefficient of x squared. So the other day we said that when that happens, we first want to get rid of that coefficient. So then we have an added step here. I'm going to take out a common factor of 3. Why? Because the coefficient of x squared was 3. Now, if I take out 3, it must be a common factor, meaning I must be able to take it out of each one of those terms. So if I take out 3, I'd have x squared plus 8x plus 16. Now, if we look at the signs, that is a plus, which means that I will have x plus something, x plus something. Now, and also because that's a plus, I knew it would be. Right, so factors of 16 would be 16 times 1 or 4 times 4. And I've got to use them to get 8. Right? So I'm definitely going to use this option. The 16 and 1 I think is not going to work. So if I say plus 4, how much does it give us? Positive 8. And that's what we want. So my two brackets would be x plus 4. Okay, number 3. Factors, that's a plus. So it means that my signs will be the same. They will either be plus plus or minus minus. So how did I decide on the minus? Because of this minus in front. Okay, so factors of 4 would be 4 times 1 or 2 times 2. I've got to use those to get 5. Right, so meaning I think I'm going to use the 4 now, because 2 and 2 will just give me 4. No. But if I were to use minus 4 minus 1, that is going to give me minus 5. So x minus 4, x minus 1. Right, over here, factors of 15 will be 15 times 1 or 5 times 3. Now, have a look. Because that was a negative, I knew my two brackets would be x plus something and x minus something. Okay, so I've got to use these factors to get 2. Now 15 and 1, it's impossible to use that and get to 2. So I'm definitely going to use the 5 and the 3. So what we're going to say is I'm going to say minus 5 plus 3, because that's going to give me the minus 2. Now, okay, so x minus 5 and x plus 3. Remember, go double check by using FOIL if you're unsure. Right, over here I've got 56. So 8 times 7. Hey. First things first, sorry, the signs, keep on forgetting. Because that's a negative, I will have x plus something, x minus something. Okay, so factors of 56 will be 8 times 7. I've got to use that to get minus 1. Right. Okay, so the signs that I'm going to fill in is minus 8 plus 7, because that's going to give me minus 1. Okay, so x minus 8 and x plus 7. Okay, and for A, I've got to get 27. So I'm going to skip to the one. Obviously, 50 times 1 is a factor, but I can't use that to get to 27. Then 5 times 10, also a factor, but that's not going to work to get to 27. So what I want to talk about is 25 times 2. Okay, so positive 25 plus 2, that would give me 27. So that's how I knew x plus 25 and x plus 2. Right, at C, again, I've got a coefficient here in front of x squared, and that was my clue that I've got to take out a common factor of 2 out of all of those terms. Okay, so if I take out 2, I'd have left x squared plus 3x minus 10. Now this bracket is a trinomial, which I can factorize further. Okay, and because that sign over here is a negative, I knew that it would be x plus something and x minus something. So let's look at factors of 10. That would be 10 times 1 or 5 times 2. I've got to use those to get positive 3. Okay, so obviously the 10 and the 1, that's not going to work. It's too big. But if I were to say positive 5 minus 2, I would get a positive 3. So that's how I knew x plus 5, x minus 2. And then the last one, again, we've got a coefficient for x squared. And that was my clue that I've got to take out a common factor of 4. If I do, I get x squared minus 3x minus 18. And that trinomial can be factorized further. Because this sign is a negative, I knew that I will have a x plus something and x minus something. Okay, now let's go get factors of that 18. Factors of 18 would be 18 times 1, or 9 times 2, or 6 times 3. Okay, I've got to use these to get a negative 3. Okay, but 18 and 1, I can't really use that to get to a negative 3. The 9 and the 2, also not going to work. But the 6 and the 3, I can say minus 6 plus 3. That's actually going to give me minus 3. Okay, so x plus 3, x minus 6. Okay. All right, people, in your textbook on page 183, you're going to do that revision exercise, but only do number 1 and number 4. And when I see you guys again on Monday, we will be doing factorizing within fractions. Hope you guys have a lovely weekend. Bye.